Hello everyone and welcome back to the Oxford Vapers YouTube channel. I'm Taylor and today we're going to be having a quick look at the Voopoo VMATE E. Now this is the latest open pod kit from Voopoo, and some of the notable features of it is it has a 1200 mAh battery. You have two different types of pods. There's both a 0.7 ohm and a 1.2 ohm. It has a 17 watt maximum output and is capable of both mouth to lung and restricted direct to lung vaping. It also offers Type-C charging and is a draw-to-fire device. So I think the fairest thing to do with this device is to compare it to something that we already sell. And the closest thing to it is going to be something like the X-Ross. Now the X-Ross has 1000 mAh of battery, this has 1200, so it is bigger in terms of battery life. The X-Ross also has two different types of pods, slightly different resistances, but you still have that option. And they both have an adjustable airflow. Now, in my opinion, the airflow on the X-Ross is slightly better. It gives you a better range of, better variation of airflows, so you can more tailor it to what you prefer. Other than that, though, in terms of how they work, they're very, very similar. The main difference, I think, and where the Voopoo slightly pulls ahead, is how it feels. So this feels, I would say, more quality. It has more weight to it. It certainly looks better in my opinion. So I think it would be a very good competitor for the X-Ross, which is obviously very popular. The battery indicator is 4 lights on the back of the device. They will tick down as the battery discharges, and then when they're empty you charge it back up. One thing I do wish about this is the leather effect that's on the front. I wish that was on both sides, because I think that the back of it being shiny like the sides of the device are, it means that it's just a fingerprint magnet. It looks dirty even when it's not, because it's almost chrome. It just picks up every little speck of dirt, every fingerprint, everything, and it looks dirty. But the device looks good overall. I think it looks great actually. It's just a shame that they didn't think to put it on both sides, because I think that would have really added to it. Now the other thing is the cost. It is slightly more expensive than the X-Ross, which is what we're comparing it to. The X-Ross being £22 and this being £26. Now that is on the higher end for a pod device, but as I said before, the quality of it seems to be more than comparable pod kits like the Clips or the X-Ross that we sell currently. It certainly has more weight to it. It feels, it feels like a premium product, but unfortunately it is more expensive because of that. The other slight downside is the airflow. It's a little bit binary for my taste. It's very much either open or closed. It's very difficult to get it somewhere in the middle. You can do it with a bit of fiddling, but it's still not ideal. It would be better if it was a longer, stiffer switch so that you could tailor it exactly to where you wanted it. But in terms of the device itself, from using it for the last day or so, the flavour on it is brilliant. The pod I used was the 0.7, which is obviously the restricted direct to lung. So it was a little bit more powerful, which is how I like it. The production was good, slightly hindered by the airflow that I mentioned before, but you can get around it. All I would say though is Voopoo have elected not to make a separate pod for the European market, which obviously falls under TPD, which is limited to 2 millilitres. What they've done is they've put an insert, a stopper basically, to limit the size of the pod in a disposable pod. Now I don't really understand that. I think that it may have cost them more money, but I think in terms of usage, the pod would have been better had it been a bespoke pod designed to be 2mm from the get-go, not one that's maybe 4mm with an insert in it. And the final downside, and it is a small thing but you do notice, is the bottom of the device is rounded, which means it doesn't stand up. Can be annoying because we're always saying don't leave your vape on its side and stuff like that. You have no choice basically with this device. But as I say, these are nitpicks, they're not big deals. Overall the device is fantastic, the flavour on it is brilliant, it looks brilliant, it feels great. Type-C charging, which is always a plus. And overall I think if it came down to it, I would actually buy the VMATE E over the X-Ross now, having used it. So there we go. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, comment and subscribe to our channel. With that said, I've been Taylor, this is Oxford Vapers, and we'll see you very soon.